Hi there, this is Sheila. Welcome to the Painted Pig Studio in my squeaky chair. And thank you for joining me. I'm going to try to control my excitement and try to make sense and not babble. Which, as you know, if you watched any of my videos, will be a difficult task for me. But if you saw my last video, you know that I was inspired by Tim Holtz, his live show with his new Ideology 2023. And what led me there was Wendy from Wendy's Journal Adventure. And she was doing a project with ink swatches after watching his presentation. He has transparencies with ink swatches that are pretty cool. Make sure, yeah. And so she thought that she would just take her pens and do some of her own on vellum. They start with C. Copic markers. Thank you. And so she had, so what she did, she swatched her pens and then turned the vellum over to get a more muted look. And she made little pockets and different things with them, and they were really cute. So that got me thinking about Avery sticker sheets, the clear full sheet labels. And I love using those to get like fake washi, or well, it's not fake washi, it's basically washi. And but of my own choice, you know, with a printable or whatever. So I tried it. I tried using every marker that I had, every kind. That's just a regular, inexpensive marker that you would use for calligraphy, that type of thing. It had a brush point and a pin point. And then I tried using zig markers. As you can see, still no success. I used Posca pens. Really no success there either. I used a chalk marker. Didn't work. These are actually, this is actually acrylic paint. I suppose that is a little bit better, and I haven't looked to see what it looks like without the paper behind it. It might actually be cool. I don't know. But then I thought, well, what about ink? So nah, it's not terrible. I think the ink probably did the best, but it was drying time. The juicier the ink pad, the longer it took to dry, of course. So these are all my little archival, those little small archival ink pads that I just squished onto the paper. So I may end up actually using some of these. They're wrinkled up. Okay, so then I thought, well, I've got my little scrapbook software, and one of the things in the software is paint chips. So these are the colors. They have them in sets of 3, so I couldn't choose. I can't break them apart and choose what colors I want. And then they had these kind of strips, which were very pastel-y, and again, I haven't looked to see. So yeah, very pastel, and but I'm sure I will make use of them. So then I thought, well, I'm gonna try those on vellum. This is the result, and you can see where the vellum, the printer kind of didn't like the vellum in spots. And excuse my hands, I've had them in everything this morning. And I actually did try and clean them, but it didn't happen. So, actually, this is the front. This is the printed front, and this is the back. So, I'll be doing something with those, I'm sure. Well, then I thought, I have got this canvas pad that you can buy, and you can actually stretch it on these little wooden frames if you like. And so I had actually tea-dyed a sheet of it. And I thought, well, let me just swatch some acrylic paint. So I got some of my paints and swatched them on the canvas, and then created this little pocket with them, and some of my stamped hand stamped label sheet thingy. And so then I made a tag, and it's you know, it's definitely tea dyed. You can see it's lighter on one side than the other, but this I did in greens, and you know, you can put my idea was to put a transparency of my own here, but I'll show you in a minute why that's not going to happen. And so here is another one that I have done some sewing on. This was a wider one. Well, not really wider, but I put 6. And this was done with those pins. Those first ones that I had tried to use. So this was with those, and I think they're Crayola markers actually, with the 2 different points, 2 different colors. And then I did some stitching, and so that's going to go on the front of a pocket, something like this. Not this one, but something like that. So, there we have it. And so now let me show you the results from I had printed on acetate before, so that's what you would do for the transparency, right? You would use acetate. Or I would, anyway. And I don't know what Tim Holtz used, but I'm sure they've got some fancy schmancy way of doing it. And so I printed on acetate before and was successful. So I had no reason to believe I wouldn't be this time. But as you can see, it looks like film when the light is too hot behind it, and it starts to melt it. The problem with it, and I don't know if it's because my ink is different or because all the colors, because the other ones was just primarily black. Might have had some red also, but mostly black. It was labels. So I don't know if this is going to dry completely to be able to be used, but I know putting it through the die cut machine, it just erased the ink, and that's one reason my fingers are like they are. And then really, even just having it set by itself, it's still just kind of curdled, I guess. But you know, I could use that. Let me see. I've got this canvas. Let's just use it and see what happens. See what happens. And I know if I was getting this shot, you would be able to see it better. And I might have smeared it. Yeah, I did. So, basically not a lot. Not a lot happened. Not on the canvas, anyway. What about... book page? I think I got 2 or 3 pieces of it there. Huh. Well, it's definitely coming off. Maybe if you blotted it right after it came out of the printer, it would dry better. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, there we have you. Have my experimentation. So that would have been really pretty if it had stayed intact. And I just hated that my experiment failed, because I think that's so cute. Oh well. So I'm going to be using these in the William Morris journal, which is yet to be named and may not be named. But this is the cover done. And yes, I know it because I tried to round it before it was dry. And I tell you what, I used this canvas fabric, not that canvas over there, but a canvas fabric. It's fairly thick, which I thought would be nice and sturdy for inside my journals, but it did not want to stick. I finally had to use some Fabri-Tac on it. You know, I use that Collage Page usually, or PBA glue, and you see, it's still in place. It's not stuck. So I wish I had an injector, and I might could inject some glue up in there or smooth that out. But anyway, it's and I've got the 2 signatures ready to stitch in, and that's how it will look. So I want to do some things to the cover first before I stitch anything, or before I sew the signatures in, and I'll keep you posted. But that's where I am today. Oh, and I did birds too. Same thing. Same with the birds. And I can't tell. No, that's definitely not dry there. And that's a shame. And I can't put the heat gun on it and melt the acetate. I wonder if I could do a blow dryer. Probably the same thing. Okay, so this is going to be my Tuesday video, because we're going to take a little overnight and have a nice dinner and at a nice restaurant and just chill. So I don't know if I'll be able to get one out Thursday or not, but I wanted to let you see my continued Tim Holtz inspiration. So for now, you take care, stay well. Hugs and kisses. Until next time. Bye.